1988 saw 3 of my films released, and the first one turned out to be a very famous successful film called Pushpak. That was the Pushpak I that was released in 1988. This was a dialogueless film, and the idea for this film was very much earlier. Even at the time of Raja Parvai, I told Mr. Kamal Haasan and Mr. Anantu that I had an idea and a concept for a dialogueless film. Actually, this is not a silent film, as a lot of advertisement is there. The silent film is that which Chaplin and others did. The sound was not there at the time. Therefore, they had to do even the dialogues and all that with silent and with subtitles. But today the sound is available. So, why it's not a silent film. So, sound is there, the car sounds will be there, atmosphere sound will be there, the background music is there, everything is there, but only people do not talk. And I had to make the screenplay in such a way that there was no necessity for the characters to talk, or else it will be artificial and it will be pushed. So, this idea is a germ idea that I should have a film without any dialogue was there very long time, even before Raja Parvai. And when I made my first film, I told Mr. Kamal Haasan, Anantu and others, they were all amazed what sort of film. At that time, the name of the film was Advaita. That is, I had a vague idea that it is about a single character who is in search of a job. So, he will go there, he will go there, he will. It is more like a documentary, it is a travel act. He travels a lot of people, there is an interaction, he observes this. There was not much of a story. So, it is an Advaita, that is not two. Advaita is ek, one. So, that Advaita, not two, that is Dvaita is two, Advaita is one, a single man. There is a dialogueless film. I thought they are amazed, but I wanted to write the script. Only thing is, I was just waiting for a storyline, and later when I think I remember very clearly, it was during I was having a shower bath. Suddenly a storyline struck to me. It is not just a jobless person who suddenly gets into a very rich atmosphere, getting a key of a hotel, gets into there, and he meets so many people, including a girl, and how he realizes that going there to a shortcut is not that happy. Earning himself 1 rupee is more, get a more feeling of achievement than just getting all the riches through a shortcut. A vague storyline came, and then I started writing the script and went on writing the script quite a bit, and a rough script totally I had, a complete script I had. And very interestingly, I thought, since it is a dialogueless film, I will get a script for only about 7,000 or 8,000 feet or 9,000 feet, it's about 1.5 hours. But when I actually wrote the entire script and roughly timed the whole thing, it was nearly more than 2.5 hours, nearly 16,000, 15,000 feet I was getting. So, I had to cut a lot of scenes. I will now tell some of the scenes which I cut. 2 scenes were very important, I cut them. So, that was Pushpak, and I had the script. Now, I wanted to again touch this subject. I got this subject ready. Kamal Haasan was very much excited. I did not tell him the script, I did not tell him the story. I just gave him the vague idea of what the entire thing was about. But I did not ask him. He has already produced Raja Parvai. Probably he did not think that will be an experiment. As a producer, he may not be able to do. Somebody was prepared to produce, he probably was prepared to act in a different frame like that. I do not know. I did not also press, because I thought any production, it should come voluntarily. I could not insist anybody and just coax him to do it. So, I did not get any sort of a positive reply as a producer. Acting fine, probably I thought. Then I went to a few more producers. They were all feeling risky. No, sir, how can we take a film without a song? without a dialogue, without a fight. All those commercial elements will not be there. And they want me to explain the story. I said it's a visual, I can tell you the storyline, but it is so much in performance, acting, in the shots there and the locale there. And finally, I went to Mr. Ramoji Rao. I asked him, sir, I have a subject without a dialogue. Will you be able to tell that? He told me, even if you tell me, I will not be able to understand, because fully, supposing you tell a story with full dialogues, to a certain extent I will be able to understand, because the directors will understand better how finally it looks like a picture. Of course, I see the picture perfectly alright, I can judge. Vaguely the story, the basic element, what sort of a drama it has, I can make a judgment whether it is going to be successful or not. But what you are telling is totally different. I cannot judge on that. I do not want to put a judgment. As a producer, it is quite natural, and it is, I think you will understand, I am right in not investing in something which I do not know. That is bad business. Supposing I know about it, I will invest any amount, but this particular picture I do not understand, because you are telling it is absolutely dialogueless picture. But he suggested one advice he gave me. Just because I do not understand the silent script, you decide for yourself. I want to give you an advice. You tell this to 6 people, and even if 3 people say it is okay, then you go ahead, because as a director your reputation also is at stake. So, I want you to advise that. I took the advice very seriously, and first person usually for any such thing I want to take advice is one Mr. D.V. Narsarazu, who wrote for my Zamindar Garamai, and apart from that he was my sort of a guru right from Dongaramadu days. Mr. Narsarazu at that time had gone to Vijayawada, he is not available. Probably he may be coming in 2 or 3 days, but I was impatient, I did not wait up to that. So, the first person is, I went to Mr. Vijaya Bapinidu, a producer, a writer. He was running a magazine. He also directed films. He knows the commercial aspect of it. He knows the visual aspect of the film. Every aspect of the film he knows. He is knowledgeable. So, I called Mr. Vijaya Bapinidu and went to him and tell him, sir, this is the thing. I want to tell you a story. Please listen and tell me whether it is good or not. I narrated the entire story to Vijaya Bapinidu. He said, wonderful, it is an entirely different way of telling, you please go ahead. The next person I wanted to tell was the music director, Mr. Chakravarti. Mr. Chakravarti at that time was running Temperature. I called him and tell, Mr. Chakravarti, I want to come to you and narrate a story. No, sir, you are such a senior person, you should not come to my house, I will come to your house. Only thing is I am having a slight temperature. I am lying on the bed, so you give me some time. No, don't worry, it is only listening. I will come to you. Are you in a position to listen? That is no problem, sir. I can listen to the story. Only thing is, I am not able to move about. My body is paining. So, I waited to staying Mr. Chakravarti's house. He was lying. I asked him to lie down and listen to the story. I narrated the entire story equally detailedly to him. He also liked it. So, I wanted to go to a third person, and I thought of one Mr. Kranti Kumar. He was a very sensitive director. He did a wonderful film called Swati with Suhasini. It's a very good film, and he was a producer also. He produced film with Mr. Chiranjeevi, and he is very knowledgeable both about the script, about the quality script, quality cinema, at the same time the commercial aspect. So, I went to Mr. Kranti Kumar, and there he had his writer, consultant and a friend and an assistant, Mr. Bemur Satyanarayana. He was also there. So, I told the entire story to Mr. Kranti Kumar. Kranti Kumar liked the story immensely, but he told one more exactly extra thing he told. I like the script very much, but on condition this picture will be good on condition on the screen all that you say is there. You have to get all that you say in the screen. Provided you get what all you say on the screen, then I am sure it will be a very good film, very innovative film, it will be a landmark. After that, that's all. I did not want to go to any other producer. Mr. Ramanuja Rao said, out of 6, if 3 agree, you go ahead. I took the advice I took the advice seriously. Then I went to those 3 people. They all liked it, and I went ahead with the actual casting and other things. Now that was what has happened, and then I was searching for the other producers. It was at that time one of the Rajkumar's films was going on, and I met Mr. Sringar Nagaraj. Sringar Nagaraj was in Janardhan Hotel, and very casually I never thought he would be a producer. I just told him, I have got a subject where there is no dialogue. He was, what sir, where there is no dialogue? I want to hear that. Then in that interest and excitement, I told him the story. He immediately jumped up and said, I am doing the film. What, Mr. Nagaraj, you are doing the film? Yes sir, nothing is impossible, I will do that. And within 1 week, he was so active. When are we going to start, sir? When are we going to do it? We do not mind. Come on, we are going to stay. So, what exactly, you see one thing sir, I will be a producer, you also be a producer. We will just partner. From your side, you give the story, you give the goodwill, you give the screenplay. I will be the, whatever funds are there, I will do it. We will go in partnership. So, for that picture, I became also a producer. I and Sringar Nagar both were producers, and I was the story, concept and screenplay, no dialogues, and direction. So, it was there, and first thing is I went to Kamal Haasan. Mr. Kamal Haasan, one Mr. Sringar Nagaraj is going to produce, and then we will have to produce. He said, fine. When exactly is the dates? Because he knew that I will check up everything about Mr. Sringar Nagaraj, whether he is capable of producing. I was going to take care of, and it was not his bother also. He was going to act, he was going to take whatever he was asking. So, Mr. Sringar Nagaraj directly talked something to Mr. Kamal Haasan. I do not know what transpired. Now, Mr. Kamal Haasan agreed, and the moment Mr. Kamal Haasan agreed, the entire picture went on rails. The first person is who is going to be the heroine, and cameraman also Gauri Shankar again. Mr. Gauri Shankar, because I was so fond of Gauri Shankar, this sort of a different type of films, I thought Mr. Gauri Shankar is the right, and the type of lighting, it had got that European texture in Gauri Shankar's lighting. So, I liked, and Gauri Shankar came on board. Definitely there is no point of doing any music now. Finally, after the entire picture is edited, since there are no songs, then alone the question of music comes. I did not want to do it anything at this stage. I left it at that. For one heroine, there are so many people there, and the first choice was Sridevi. She was a top star at the time. She was working in Chiranjeevi's film, in AVM Studios somewhere, and I went and met her. I told her everything, and she was immensely interested. Sir, I will definitely do the film. It is a rare film. Nobody gets an opportunity to do such a film without a dialogue, without song. It is a different type of film. She is a real artist. She wants to do the film. But within 1 month, what happened? There was a big strike in Maharashtra, film academy, film industry, and all shootings were closed, and there was nothing, no shooting happening. So, all the productions were stopped, and suddenly when it was lifted, she had to adjust a lot of dates, and it was taking nearly 9 months to 1 year for Sridevi to come and adjust the dates. So, she said, sir, this is my problem. If you can wait for me for 9 months minimum, at least 1 year, it won't be less than 9 months. If you can wait, I will definitely do, but it is now a problem for me. I am definitely interested. I cannot do this because of this problem. I said, thank you very much for your interest, but I am not able to wait up to that. I have to go ahead. So, I left Sridevi. Then there was another person. I went to Mr. The director of Sholay. he I asked him and I met him, I am doing this film. He received me, he was very much interested and he suggested a few other people and he wanted to meet. There is one girl, sir, she has come new to this field and she is coming. Only 2 or 3, none of her pictures are released. And there is a talk that every picture of hers is half released or something like that. This industry is full of sentiment, but if you are not bothered about these things, you can meet her. Her name is Madhuri Dixit. At that time, it was absolutely a new name. And we wanted to contact where Madhuri Dixit was. Somebody called manager came. He was talking in Hindi, we were not talking in English. Finally, he said, this is a dialogueless film. And he was telling, no, our heroine will not do dialogueless films. He was saying dialogue means it's a junior artist. No, sir, the entire film is dialogueless. We were not able to, he was not able to understand what we were telling. We were not able to understand what he was telling. Somehow we were not able to meet that girl called Madhuri Dixit. Later, I made a film called Pool with Madhuri Dixit with Rajendra Kumar as director. So that was the Madhuri Dixit at that new thing. And one girl, another girl, Bombay girl, she was from Bangkok. We tried to book her and she was demanding a lot of, we are coming with 6 or 8 people in the flight, we have got so many costume here, we have got our own makeup. I said, this is not that, it's a different type of film. There is no makeups here. You come there, you go to some shop there and daily whatever you wear, everybody wears. Like that you wear, we don't stitch separate costumes. This is a different type of film. She was not agreeable for that, we just cancelled. And finally, when we were thinking of whom we should cast as heroine, I got the best director award for some film. I do not remember now. There is one film, there was in Indian Express. Indian Express people, they had an awards function in Chennai and I went there to receive the best director's award. So, in that Indian Express awards function, there was a girl called Amala. She had done about 2 or 3 pictures which did not do well and they put a lot of makeup on her and put a page full of dialogues. This is all too melodrama. Her type of thinking, her type of dialogue, the sensitiveness of her face, all that was drowned in the makeup and because of those things, she did not do well. I had a glimpse of those shots somewhere, I saw them. The defect was not in, it was in the makeup and it was the page dialogue and the melodrama, not in her. And then she was comparing, I saw her. There are very little makeup just required for that occasion. But the smile, everything was angelic. I was reminded of Audrey Hepburn in Roman Holiday, the first picture. Such attractive smile was there. And I told Mr. Singeetam, Mr. Nagaraj, I met this girl, I saw this girl called Amala, so she is our heroine. Of course, there are difference of opinion. Kamal had said, we will see somebody, she will see somebody, but once I made my mind, it is decided. Myself and Nagaraj went to her house, we told her about the subject, and exactly as I expected, the same sweet smile, the same honest look, everything was there, the innocence, everything was there. And we booked her as the heroine. So, this was the major confirmation, major work which we had finished. And we had another casting, we had a villain. I think vaguely somewhere in a play, some TV serial we have seen, a person called Tinu Anand. His look was very interesting, his formation of the face, very thing. He had funny face, at the same time he had an interesting look, and we booked him as the villain. And we had one role for Pratap Potan and one Samir Kakkad, he was famous in his TV serials. He was booked for the drunkard's character. And for the beggar character, right from the beginning, I had only one man in my mind, that was Mr. P.L. Narayana, who worked in my Mayuri. he was booked as the beggar. I was insist on him. And the main person was the hotel owner. It is the hotel, the whole thing takes place in a hotel and the hotel owner. So I had this mind of Mr. Gummadi Venkateswara Rao, a famous Telugu actor. So we approached Mr. Gummadi Venkateswara Rao. He liked the subject. He is a person who wants to do different types of films. He liked the concept very much. He liked it. We went to that clothes shop also. He had to have a suit. We gave the measurements and the order was given for a suit to be stitched. But next day, what happened? Mr. Gummadi Venkateswara Rao's wife was ailing with some problem and she was taken to the hospital. It was diagnosed, it was cancer. The moment he found that his wife had cancer, he was depressed. So he called me and I went to his house and told me, I am very thankful for you to calling me to act this role. But with this mental setup, with my wife diagnosed having cancer and I do not know how many days she is going to live, with this future in my life, I don't think I will be able to take this role. Kindly excuse me, leave me alone. Poor Mr. Gummadi Venkateswara Rao told me. It was a very sad thing. I was very sorry that he was not able to in this film. At the same time, I could not say no to him because I have to sympathize with his person. It was a shock which he got at that time. So Mr. Gummadi Venkateswara Rao was not there in the film, and for that I put a person called Mr. Lokanath. He acted in my Samskara of the first film. That Lokanath became the proprietor of that hotel. And the next one will be, once having put all this casting, and we have got other castings like servant maid who came from Bombay, one girl. Mr. Kamal Haasan knew some dancer, she will be very good, he recommended, and we got her all the way from Bombay to Bangalore to do that servant maid's role, because there are about 2 or 3 scenes.